Here with reaction, South Carolina Senators Lindsey Graham and Tim Scott. Lindsey Graham, let's start with you. Let's start with the security failures and the media reaction. Kind of sick, isn't it?
Yeah. So number one, the media reaction is sick. If the shoe were on the other foot, you changed the labels, and Tim and I said anything like that, or you said anything like that, would be driven out of politics, probably rightfully so. One very prominent NBC reporter analyst said, will this change Trump's rhetoric? The man almost got shot again, and the analysis of the media is, will Trump change? So here's my response. Will the system change? Will the people who accuse him of being a threat to democracy will shut the hell up so people are not inspired to kill him? We've had a lot of happy talk. All the agents around the president, I agree, that whole team are great. They're wonderful Americans. This was system failure at every possible level. How about this idea? What if he had not put the barrel through the fence until President Trump got in front of him? That was just sheer luck. What if he had waited till President Trump finished the hole behind him and got right in front of him before he stuck the barrel through the fence? The guy was there for 12 hours with an AK-47 with a scope on it. I've lost golf balls in that area. How the hell could this happen twice? So when I heard this, the acting director say everything worked fine, no, man, you need to be fired. You need to go.
Your reaction, Senator Scott.
Well, listen, don't ever forget the fact that the Bible tells us that Proverbs 18:21, that there's death in life and the power of the tongue. What we're seeing being weaponized on the left is their words. They literally continue to call former President Donald Trump a threat to democracy. You've got crazy folks who say, I've just been empowered to eliminate the threat to democracy. How does that work? It works when we see the liberal elite literally trying to take out a political opponent. Now, do they cause it? Absolutely, they contribute to it. They're complicit with it because of their words. Let me just say this, Sean, without question. Here's a party whose nominee did not get a single vote in a Democrat primary. Why? There was no Democrat primary. The coronation ceremony with her becoming the nominee did not take a process. That is the end of democracy. When you're talking about the hypocrisy on the left, it's undeniable and hard to miss that they literally wiped clean the slate of how elections are run in the United States of America. But their rhetoric, it's not just over the top, it is potentially deadly. We need to see it toned down, starting on the left. I've already heard it from our side. Every one of us wants to focus on the issues, but every single time we see another attempt against President Trump, you got to ask yourself, is there a plot? 2 assassination attempts in 6 weeks? If I were him, his family, or those who support him, you got to start thinking, what's going wrong in this process? We need answers. We need them now.
We need answers. We need them now. And that area should have been swept. And we need an answer like
100%.
Tomorrow. They should be before Congress. Senator Graham, Senator Tim Scott, thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.